Hello and a very warm welcome to Weirdo.Rocks. It's day 44 of my 90 days content challenge. My name is Leo Brunhofer, and today I gonna talk about very important business metrics, especially if you have an online business or a software as a service business. You should really know about these numbers. If you're the founder, if you're searching for an investor, then you should have an idea how high these numbers are in your specific case. We are talking about customer acquisition costs, CAC, lifetime value, LTV, and the churn rate. All three of them are really important. And let's start with customer acquisition costs, which is basically the sum of all sales and marketing costs divided by the count of new customers that you got through these measures. You can also break it down to channel, for example, if you're doing trade shows, if you're doing Facebook ads or Google ads, you can calculate the CAC for each channel. It should give you an impression how much it costs you to acquire a new paying customer. As an example, if you spend 1,000 euros per month for marketing and sales, everything included, like salaries, ads, email marketing tools, and you can win 100 new customers with this. Your customer acquisition costs would be 10 euros per new customer. The next term that I mentioned was lifetime value, also really, really important. Not so easy to calculate. It's quite there are many variables that are coming in, and also it's not always easy to say when the lifetime of a customer ended. To get real numbers for that, just because the user is not using a service for 6 months, for example, it doesn't mean that you totally lost him. Most of the cases, maybe yes, but not in all the cases. So you really need a solid definition of the underlying terms where your calculations are based on. This is especially in bigger corporations not always easy. If you hear these terms a lot, most of the time each department is making its own definition of the terms, what is an active user and stuff like this. And then if you're comparing different lifetime values, customer acquisition costs, you can get within one corporation totally different numbers. But we are not talking about corpos at the moment. We are talking about our own small businesses, and there you should have this under control. So what you need to calculate the lifetime value or the net lifetime value is the average order value. Then you need the purchase frequency, how many transactions customer is doing in a specific time period. Then the customer lifespan, how long is the customer sticking to your company normally, and the profit margin. So the formula for the net LTV, lifetime value, is like the average order value multiplied with the profit margin, which gives you your profit for one purchase. Then you multiply this with the frequency the average customer is buying, multiplied with the lifetime of customer lifespan of average customer. If you have an example, as an example with numbers, if 50 euros is the average order value and your margin is 20%, then you make 10 euros on each item you sell. If the purchase frequency is 10 times a year, then you are making 100 euros a year per customer. And if the customer lifespan average is 8 years, then you are have a net lifetime value of 800 euros on each customer. Of course, there are different cohorts. You can make a segmentation of the users where you see or can compare how is the net lifetime value of your power users, your inactive users, your new users, and of course also these values can differ a lot. Based on that, you can make decisions. Maybe you just focus more on the power users or whatever. It's a really important number. If you take the two together, like the customer acquisition costs and the lifetime value, obviously the ratio of them is very important. It means if your customer acquisition costs is higher on average than your lifetime value, then you better shut your business down or or as Mr. Wonderful would say, bring it behind the barn and shoot it. Or maybe there is some other ways out. I wouldn't be that radical. Maybe you still have a chance, but you should immediately work on that if this happens over a longer period of time. So ratio between customer acquisition costs and lifetime value is really, really important. The higher, if you have, let's say, 1 to 5 customer acquisition costs to lifetime value ratio, it's really good value. It's one number of some others that state of your company that state that you have a really healthy, good business. Of course, other numbers should be also right here, like the growth, monthly growth, and also the churn rate, which I will explain now. The churn rate is the percentage of users that over a period of time that are stop using your services that you're offering. It's also really, really complex to calculate. I mean, there is a simple formula, and I will introduce that. Since we don't have more time for that, I will go into deeper detail, maybe if needed in another video. But churn rate, as I said, is let's say the churn rate for 1 month is calculated like this. 100 users stopped using your services in February. You have total 1,000 euros, then you have a churn rate of 10%. So churn rate for 1 month in this example is like the amount of churned customers in February divided by the total amount of customers. So it's not that easy. This is really the simplest, simple version of the how to calculate your churn rate. But you also have to consider that new clients were coming in, joining your business in February, and also from this new joined clients, customers, some already left probably. So churn is really important, since you really should know your number and also optimize your churn rate, since customer acquisition costs in most of the businesses is much more expensive than to keep already existing customers. So you have to spend a lot of more money to get new customers compared to trying to keep the already existing customers in your business. So most bigger companies and also smaller companies should really take care of their churn rate. Yeah, so I already talked about the customer acquisition costs, lifetime value, the ratio between them, and the net monthly churn. I hope this gave you a brief overview about these terms. Of course, there is much more behind each of the terms, so you can read yourself, or maybe I will go into more detail in some future videos, or maybe with some calculation examples. Yeah, and if you're looking for money, or if you're running a company, especially software as a service company, you should exactly know, or as good as possible, how those numbers are looking for you. Every investor will ask you for that if you're looking for money, and yeah. So I really helped it. I hope this really helped you. And as every day, I'm really happy about comments, subscriptions, and of course likes, also input to my videos, questions, wishes for content. So yeah, I just can wish you a nice Friday evening, and we see each other tomorrow, hopefully. Bye.